Greetings, good things. Welcome to the Plan and Story podcast hosted by myself, Carmen Tyra. I'm here to continue the storytelling tradition in a generation driven by emergent strategies and change. We're here rooted in broadcasting for the Muwekma Ohlone Bay Area, also known as San Jose, California. Some stories will intersect, diverge, or be heard as they're still developing. May hearing these stories spark a bit of joy and a little bit of community for you on the internet. Welcome back to another episode. We are delving into contemporary art by reflecting on some of the latest art openings, talks, and closings I was able to go to in the Bay Area. Throughout this episode, we'll be exploring modern art's importance and impact on society. Starting with a First Friday experience at the San Jose Museum of Art, where I was able to explore Sadie Barnette's family business opening reception. I'll definitely be back to check it out on a day where there, isn't all the humbug of an opening and the artist being present in the room, which was a very exciting experience. Anytime you're able to meet an artist, or let alone the family that the artist comes from, seeing someone's parents, supporting them at all stages of their career, whatever your profession is always an encouraging thing to see. I know that I'm able to benefit from that kind of support from my family as well. Sadie Barnette's work explores their descendants from the Black Panther Party and members of the Black Panther Party, and also just living in the Bay Area and growing up here in Santa Clara County and in Oakland. This installation allows you to kind of step into a nostalgic living room setting with these vinyl wrap large armchair and couch, and they have that same kind of sticky plastic couch cover feeling, but they're done in these really beautiful silver luminescent vinyl wrap, which this adornment and beauty and joy is kind of woven and glued and sparkling through all of Sadie's work to counteract that balance of these really hard subjects that you are looking at, not even knowing that you're looking at them. And again, anytime an artist is around to talk about their work, lean in your ear and listen, because it'll just get you even more connected to their why and the decisions made in the artwork. So later you find out you're able to step into this living room with this short hair, dark green carpet, and feel just invited to sink into this vinyl couch, and you're watching this video play, and there's this beautiful drum soundtrack over it. And later in the talk you realize or find out that one of the children appearing in the video had passed later on. And it's that kind of moment of relatability while engaging in this artwork that's all about family. And this is actually a second recording, but I'm still welling up, and I feel like that's happened with Sadie's work on a number of times. The first time I was able to engage with their work was for their Eagle Creek Saloon project, which I'm really exciting, is taking a new evolution. It's going to be at the SF MoMA in April. But with this piece, it was definitely felt different than some of the others. It wasn't as blatantly about the Black Panther Party and the injustices that their family faced in terms of, assassinations and legal disputes and these unsealed FBI records that are often found in the other installations that I've seen. So it was just very, it caught me off guard that this too was installation that has this level of macabre in it. And the black wall was so beautiful. It was like this giant emery board, because it was like this flat pink, and then you had to come up close to it to see this glimmer, and then the projected video on the wall was just really helping it shine. So it was a beautiful, beautiful day. And any opening you go to, you expect to see people, but I was not expecting to be able to have such a long conversation with another adored artist of mine, Erica Demon. who is a photographer that immigrated here from the United Kingdom and does these incredibly intimate portraits of black and brown bodies, black and brown individuals. And at an opening, sometimes it's about the artwork, sometimes it's about the community. And this event was definitely a perfect blend of those. And it'll be up until October. So if you're near San Jose, the San Jose Museum of Art, you should absolutely check it out. After that, later this week, for the very first time, I visited the Triton Museum in Santa Clara, which was a really interesting place that I need to look into more of, like the history, how it came to be. It was across the street from the Santa Clara City Hall. And for being, just down the highway in San Jose, and then the city of Santa Clara is right there, I felt like in such unfamiliar territory. It was really interesting. But the exhibition that I was there to see was by an artist, Pantea Karimi. The exhibition was titled Saffron, the Saint of Spices. And again, it was just very interesting to be there for this artist talk. I met Pantea through Grantland, and they've been successful in writing some grants, including the one at the UCSF that allowed them to do kind of a research-based artist in residency there. And they were able to go through these archives of old books, and in doing so, they found these illustrative depictions of saffron. And the illustrations were just completely different of their memory and their knowledge of saffron and living so close to the province where saffron is collected. And I learned that in addition to saffron, there's also safflower, which the threads look very similar, but it's a diluted form and doesn't have the same aroma because it's a different species of plant. And that saffron is another one of those miracle adaptogens that can be mood boosting, that can help your mind through inflammation. That's a whole other conversation to get into about what inflammation does to our health and how those very natural supplements that work against inflammation are great in your daily routine. So she was talking about how every day she's drinks, some pre-prepared saffron, kind of like a liquid extract, just hot water ground up, and then just pouring hot water on it to extract the liquid, and then that gets added in tea. And she said to freeze it. So some tips to look into. It was just really interesting to see them reflect on their childhood growing up in Iran. I have a book behind me that is all about Islamic art because it was one of my favorite periods to learn about in art history, just the ornate, detail-oriented, just the very obsessive art that I still love and admire today. I feel like it's reflected in that. And for Pantea, they're describing how now they're an atheist and how the kind of religious indoctrination that they went through in school really pushed them in that direction. And yet now, kind of reflecting back, they're able to find the parts of it, like the art, like the craftsman work, like the motifs found throughout religious artwork, in addition to specifically Islam, and uses that as a way to uphold saffron in its saintliness. And did this through a very beautiful illuminated plant sculpture, these incredible marblings that were kind of, glitch marblings, intentionally glitch marblings, that she then painted these saffron images on in the gaps of the marbles that would be these wavy, perfect chevrons that would typically grace the inside covers of religious texts, and just using this art in this previous form as a way to take a deeper dive into saffron and how we can kind of find personal significance and health, and well-being, all those things that religion can provide, but in these like natural substances. And I'm sure there's a lot of plants that would fall under that category. But seeing this exhibition, just kind of the potentness of the color, and also that it takes like close to 500 threads for a gram of saffron, and it's these hand picks just the styluses within these flowers, and it's only within a short period of time. And if you're here based in the US, check your labels. It's possible that because of the sanctions that are now on Iran, that the saffron is genuine cultivated saffron that has left Iran and been packaged somewhere else like Spain and then shipped to the US and sold as Spanish saffron, where it might actually be Iranian saffron, and that's what you want if you don't want it diluted with the safflower, is what I learned. And then lastly, that same day, drove back down to San Jose for One Culture's Graffiti Legends closing event. This gallery is really exciting to me. It's elevating local art, graffiti art, street art to this level that is really accessible and inviting, and just providing something that feels missing in the landscape of art. And both Andrew and Lou, who are kind of directing and curating the space, are bringing such a level of like personal connection to the work as well that just makes it really inviting. And I haven't missed a single event yet, or a single opening, I don't think. Or even if I don't go to the opening, I always make sure to circle back because I want to see what they're showing. And eventually I want to start collecting what they're showing as well. But that is a process and a journey that everyone should feel welcome to take their time on, but get on that wagon. Because when you are collecting from local artists, you're supporting someone in the neighborhood to keep going and to challenge rules that don't necessarily need to be in place, and to expose when there are rules that are discriminatory as well. And I think that was something that was very interesting about this Graffiti Legends show. I just like learned that San Jose has a really significant place in the overall history of graffiti art. And it's pretty shocking because, you drive to a city like San Jose, and then, just 30 minutes away, there's Oakland, California, and just visually, it's entirely different. And I learned that has to do with some of the very restrictive, highly punitive laws that San Jose has against vandalism in comparison to other places. So it's beautiful to see a shop and individuals like the folks that are at One Culture creating safe spaces and safe walls for people to perform this kind of graffiti artwork. So behind their gallery, in an alleyway, and then also in a neighboring parking lot, they did like a huge graffiti mural blowout on the walls. And so it's these like really incredible pieces in like that very unique graffiti style, but like, everyone that painted has like a different style that they're using. But it's all graffiti artwork, and seeing it in a place that is like designated for it, also celebrated, also like right across the street from City Hall. It just feels like a good movement and shift in San Jose's art and culture scene. And I'm glad to be here, to be witnessing it, to be experiencing it and talking about it, and to be reflecting on it here with you as well. Until next time, thank you for tuning in. Check out the posts if you want to see photos and hyperlinks. You can go to planetstory.co. And until next time, have a good one.